This puppy helped solve my toddler's separation anxiety at dance class. And yes, it probably made you click on this video because it's so darn cute. But here's the truth. How exactly it helped my daughter is a bit more complicated, just like separation anxiety itself. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all about how I dealt with my daughter's separation anxiety, what you can do to help young kids through this challenging phase, and what we can do for ourselves to deal with all the frustration that always comes up. And be sure to stick around until the end for specific steps I'd use when anxiety feels a bit more stubborn and has stuck around for a while. Hi, I'm Dr. Jacque. I'm a licensed psychologist and I make videos for parents on child anxiety and ADHD. Last year, I made a video on separation anxiety where I talk about 5 things that parents naturally do that might make a child's anxiety worse and what to do instead. And in that video, I told a story about how some of the preschool-aged kids in my older daughter's dance class had trouble leaving their parents to go into class. Looking back, I think I was probably a little bit smug that my older daughter was well prepared and went in easily without me. And now that my younger daughter is old enough to go to one of these dance classes, I've had the humbling experience to be one of the parents whose child has trouble going in alone. It goes to show you how common and normal these experiences can be. It's really important to remember that separation fears are part of a phase that all kids go through. Some move through it faster than others. For some, it's more noticeable and challenging. And for others, it can be a problem that sticks around for quite a bit longer. How it plays out depends on a kid's and parents' temperament, relationships with caregivers, specific situations, and other variables in a child's environment like hunger or sleep problems or even a global pandemic. But know that it's a normal part of development. As toddlers gain more independence and awareness of their own wants and needs, they also become more aware of separation from their parents, and all of that can cause trouble when it comes time to actually separate. As kids grow and learn and have more experiences, the separation fears usually gradually get better. However, it can still be a really challenging time for both kids and parents, and we want to make sure that how we support kids through it sets them up for success in the long term. Sometimes things we think are helping are short-term fixes or can inadvertently make the anxiety stick around for longer or send our kids the wrong message. This is why I want to walk you through a few things that will help you in the process and maybe get you your own puppy along the way. The first thing about getting through this phase is imagining what it's like to be in your child's shoes. And yes, you may have heard this before, so let me paint this a bit differently for you. Like from your child's perspective, you've just learned that you are indeed a separate person from your parents, but you also literally depend on them for surviving, and being away from them and having this awareness is brand new. Not to mention, if you are separating from mom or dad to go to a totally new place or be with totally new people, that experience and all the sights, sounds, smells, rules and expectations that come along with it are also brand new. And then also, if you were born in 2018, 2019, or 2020, like my younger daughter, you also probably missed out on being a part of many regular social situations because of the pandemic and do not have this bank of experiences that a preschooler born before or after these years might have. So put yourself in your child's shoes. Remember that it makes sense that this is hard for them, that they don't feel comfortable because of their growing awareness and situations and experiences are new to them. And this can be unsettling for anyone, let alone a young child. Their bodies and nervous systems are stressed and on high alert. They're on the red pathway that I talk about in another video. So talk about how that might feel for them out loud. Tell them you understand why they're scared or having trouble. Now, validating and communicating your understanding of what they're going through is a great first step. For some kids, it's enough to help them feel safe and comfortable and relax their bodies when separating. For other kids, while it's helpful, they will need more to help their bodies feel more calm and less vulnerable. They need more time to warm up in the new situation for them to feel safe and go from this red pathway to a green one. So how do we do that? In an ideal world, that likely means having them spend time with you and the new person or situation. Arrive to school or daycare or dance class early so they have one-on-one time with the teacher and you. Chat with the teacher, let your child explore the environment without the limitations or overwhelm of the actual class, while feeling the safety of your presence. Do this on several occasions and observe what you notice happening in their body. Look for signs of relaxation and calm movements with the new person and in the new environment if it is one. Sometimes a strategy like this isn't always possible though, even when you try to rearrange or advocate for it. When that's the case, a separate, planned visit can be helpful, like how schools sometimes do before the start of the school year. It gives your child a sense of what to expect and a short time to warm up to the situation and people. But when that's not possible either, or maybe your child did that but still had a lot of difficulty, then you want to pick something that can go into the classroom or situation with the child that helps their bodies eventually return to that calmer place. So this is where, for my younger daughter, who didn't want to go into her dance class by herself, we decided that her small stuffed puppy would go into the class with her. It was soft, small, and she could cuddle it. And when she was ready, she could set it down on the side of the room. She was in control of when she felt comfortable enough to be completely on her own to set it down. So choose something that's appropriate for your child's situation that your child will find comforting. A photo of the family in their backpack, matching mommy-daughter heart stamps on your hands, a spray on their shirt of your perfume. I've used almost all of these. The moral here is that you want the separation to remain a warm and loving experience. If you end up in a situation where you're trying to pry your young child from your body, or feeling like you have to completely ignore your child's tears or distress, it's a sign that you need to keep trying other things. We need to find the thing that will help their body warm up to the situation. When they're in visible distress, it's not the time to push or ignore that distress. They are not intentionally trying to be difficult. They need our support so that they can learn that they are strong and can handle it, but also that their feelings are true and appropriate. This will serve them much better in the long run and keep your relationship with them one that's built on warmth and trust. Speaking of building relationships, if you're finding this video helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and tap the like button and subscribe. It'll help it spread to more families who need it, and it lets me know what kind of information you all are interested in. Okay, so far we've talked about our kids and their distress, but what about yours? How we react in these situations is an important and big piece of the puzzle. You are human and have reactions too, and separation anxiety can be really frustrating and challenging, especially because we can't be with our kids all the time. So we need a plan for us too. Kids pick up on how their parents are feeling. When kids are anxious, their brains and bodies are already telling them that something isn't safe, that something is stressful or threatening. If they see you as their parent getting worried or agitated or even angry, it may confirm that the situation is stressful, unsafe, or that they can't handle it. So anticipate that your emotions might be running high too, especially if your child is having more trouble than you thought or you're running low on time. I think it's helpful to have some phrases in your back pocket about what you can say to yourself in those moments. You might try saying something to yourself like, "This is just a tough phase," or "I'll help her the most if I can stay calm." The way we talk to ourselves influences how we feel, and our kids pick up and learn from both of these things. Or just reminding yourself to take a pause and breathe before reacting can buy you enough time to react in a more intentional and helpful way. And related to that idea, whenever possible, give yourself and your family extra time in anticipation of the anxiety. Prepare to leave earlier than you need to, or if the fears happen around bedtime, start the routine earlier than usual. Extra time will help take the pressure off that transition time so it doesn't have to be as stressful or super quick. Remember, we're trying to help kids warm up and adapt to something that's hard for them. Give yourself and your family a bit of breathing room. Now, because every family and situation is different, I know there are going to be questions about the tips in this video, like where you can get one of these cute puppies. So let's keep this conversation going in the comments. I'm sure there are other parents with the same question, so we can all benefit from you asking. If you found this video helpful and you're looking for more support with child anxiety, I have a longer, more detailed video that goes over a very specific plan on what parents can do to support their kids through any type of anxiety. And the great thing is that the plan and strategies in that video don't require your kids to do anything different. It's all about what you have control over and what you can do as their parent. You don't want to miss it because it also talks about the thing that 90% of parents of anxious kids do that actually makes anxiety worse, and exactly what you should do instead. So go watch that next. See you there.